So there's a flat earther on YouTube named Nick. His YouTube channel is called Phuket Word. So I assume he must be located in Thailand. And he's made some videos about TFE, and they have moved me to respond. There are close to 2,000 videos on YouTube currently that talk about the final experiment. And that's far too many for me to watch. And the majority of the ones I do watch don't really warrant a response. But Phuket Word does warrant a response. Let's start with his thoughts about the final experiment.
Hello, Flat Earth researchers, debaters, and debunkers. Well, with just over a month and a half to go now before a bunch of strangers head off to Antarctica on a blind date to snuggle up in tents together and conduct what is being touted as the final experiment, let's see if the participants are actually willing and able to conduct some actual scientific observations while they are at it, and further validate their assumption that seeing the sun do a circle around you for 24 hours or more in Antarctica will be proof that you're on the underside of a globe compared to the North Pole.
All right, well, tell me how you really feel, Nick.
Now, first of all, let's be clear that I fundamentally disagree with the premise of this false dichotomy that's presented here, claiming that the flat Earth participants follow a map that is an azimuthal equidistant North Pole projection of the Earth, to claim that this is a flat Earth model. So this whole thing is a false dichotomy. And of course, if you use this azimuthal equidistant map projection that creates an ice ring out of Antarctica, then if you do see a sun in Antarctica going around you, it would appear to be impossible if people are claiming that this azimuthal equidistant map projection is some kind of flat Earth model.
Nick, it's actually not a false dichotomy for two reasons. First, there either is a 24-hour sun in Antarctica or there isn't. That's a valid and genuine dichotomy. So, which is it? What do you predict we will see and why? Will we see a 24-hour sun? If you predict we will, tell us all why you think we will see a 24-hour sun. And if you think the sun will set each day, so no 24-hour sun, tell us all why you predict that we will see that. I assume you put thoughts into your beliefs and ideas and that they're not merely arbitrary. So which do you predict and why? Will you tell us? The next reason it's not a false dichotomy is because there are only two possible models of the Earth: the globe and the flat Earth AE model. This is proven through air travel and flight paths. Since we have over 100,000 commercial flights each day, you have practically an unlimited amount of data: where the plane departs from, where the plane lands, how long it takes to reach its destination, and the path it took to get there. So what model do you subscribe to that can make sense of all these flight paths? You see, no one has an excuse anymore because of air travel. You can even take these flights yourself to verify them. Or you can use the data online for each of them, which is free. But no one is allowed anymore in the 21st century to not subscribe to a map or model when we have all these flights and all of their data. So, which model do you subscribe to that can account for known flight paths? Flights that happen every single day. Flights that you can take if you'd like. For example, there is a nonstop flight from Vancouver to BKK, which I'm guessing is your main airport. You know that Thailand is very far south of Canada. So can you explain to me why that flight from Vancouver to Thailand travels north to get to Thailand. Now, this makes perfect sense on a globe. And it makes perfect sense on a flat Earth AE map. So, what model are you aware of that can account for just that one flight path? Let me know. Now, the next thing you say, I just can't believe it.
So, right from the get-go, these guys would appear to have created something in which they would appear to win an argument that they created for themselves, not an argument that was put to them by flat earthers themselves.
Nick, I'm literally in shock that you would say this. After all the videos I've done, there's no way anyone can claim that I came up with this argument about the 24-hour sun. This came directly from flat earthers, many of them. Should I say most of them? Let's go through this again.
In order to fit the heliocentric globe model, this midnight sun phenomenon must also occur for observers south of the Antarctic Circle during winter solstice. Depending how far south the observer is, the sun should be seen for several days or weeks, never fully setting, just like it does in the north. In reality, however, there is never 24-hour sunlight anywhere in Antarctica at any time of year.
Is that good enough for you? No? Okay. There's more.
Here's the problem. You should have the exact opposite 24 hours a day and 24 hours a night in the south, but it doesn't happen. And we've proven it by all of the stations reporting with their cams. And there is 24 hours of no light, because when the sun is on the Tropic of Cancer, it never gets close enough to Antarctica to light it. But when it's out here, Antarctica still gets dark. It should never get dark. It should be 24 hours of sun.
How about now? Still not enough? Okay, no problem.
Now, let's say we are trying to prove the globe or trying to prove it's flat. Should be very, very easy, right? I mean, on a globe, we would have a 24-hour sun in the southern summer. That means that the sun would circle the continent. That's quite different from the flat Earth model where the sun circles the entire Earth from above, and since Antarctica is around the outside, well, that doesn't include a circling sun. At least not around you at the bottom continent.
Are we good, Nick? No? All right.
Just to clarify, we know that you can get daylight, sunlight, but you don't see the sun in the sky for 24 hours. On a globe, it needs to be the sun's in the sky for 24 hours.
Please tell me that's enough. No? You want at least one more? Okay, here you go.
This would be easy to prove, but they hide this from us too. All we'd have to prove is go to Antarctica. Let me and you go to Antarctica, spend a week there in the summer, and let's see if the sun does a 360-degree circle all the way around us. If so, it's a ball. But if the sun comes in this way and then leaves that way, then it's not. It is what we say it is.
Okay, Nick, please never again claim that this was my idea and not from flat earthers. This idea definitely came straight from flat earthers. And I have many more videos like these if you need them. Just let me know. In the words of Captain America, I can do this all day. Here's what you say next.
Nevertheless, if they are going to Antarctica and they're going to observe the sun, that's great. Let's get it on record, and let's do some other experiments along the way, if you like, to further validate the claim that you're on this spinning globe Earth. Now, I've already suggested to Will Duffy, the organizer, that they could do some curvature measurement experiments. Again, if there was going to be a final experiment that would prove the globe or disprove the flat Earth or vice versa, then what you need is a measurement of curvature. But I would say that not one single participant that is going along here on the globe Earth side, that is willing to do such an experiment.
You'll need to forgive me here, but I'm a very analytical thinker. This definitely gets me in trouble at times, but it is what it is. Now, curvature does not need to be measurable to exist. I need you and all other flat earthers to acknowledge this. If something cannot be measured, that doesn't mean it's not curved. It just means it can't be measured. I can think of any number of things that have curvature but cannot be measured. Let's start with the moon. The moon is clearly curved. You look up in the sky and you see a circle with a full moon. A circle has curvature. Or maybe you see a crescent moon on certain days. A crescent moon is also curved. That curvature is not measurable, but it's very real. Now, you might say that the moon is too far away to be measured. Fair enough. So let's come down to Earth. I'm pretty sure your brain and my brain are curved. But guess what? We can't measure that curvature. Not without cutting open our skull, at least. So if you and I are unwilling to do that, does that mean our brain is not curved? If we can't show measurable curvature, does that mean our brains are not curved? Not at all. What about your DNA, Nick? You know, the double helix. Hopefully you would agree with me that our DNA is curved. Well, can you measure it? I don't think you can, but it's still curved. The reason you and I can't measure it is because it's so small. Things that are super small are very hard to measure. And guess what? Things that are very large are also hard to measure, like the Earth. So if I cannot measure the Earth or measure the curvature of the Earth, that doesn't mean it's not curved. I mean, I have yet to meet a flat earther who has measured the Earth. You guys keep saying the Earth is measured flat. Well, which one of you has measured the Earth? I don't think any of you have. And that's okay. The Earth is really big. I don't fault you for not being able to measure it. So don't hold globers to a standard that globers don't demand of you. The average person on Earth does not have the ability to measure the Earth by himself. And that has nothing to do with whether or not there is curvature. Whether or not someone has the ability to measure something has no bearing on the size or shape or curvature of that thing. Moving on.
What if it wasn't like that, but the map projection that we were presented with for flat Earth was like this, putting Antarctica in the middle of the flat Earth and saying this is how it works. And then you put a sun going around Antarctica like that, and this would appear to fit. So a trip to Antarctica in this case wouldn't prove anything. All they've done is taken a particular map projection and said, that's your flat Earth model, and we're going to disprove your flat Earth model because we're going to see the sun in Antarctica for 24 hours. But if this was our map, this would work fine, and they'd have to be making a trip to the North Pole to make the observation instead. So that should help you understand why this is a false dichotomy to start with, because they've just taken a map projection and assumed it as a model. If this was assumed to be the flat Earth model, then there would be no contest down in Antarctica, would it?
This is a very strange argument, Nick. Are you denying the 24-hour sun in the Arctic, in the north? That would be a first. Flat earthers all confirm the 24-hour sun in the north, and there are many people who have seen it and many videos of it online. And we can take a trip there as well if we need to. Would be a lot cheaper than Antarctica, that's for sure. Let me know if you deny the 24-hour sun in the north. I think you'll be the first. But I do really like what you say next.
So my suggestion is to basically observe sunspots, if possible, while on this trip to Antarctica. And it's based on something that I observed myself when comparing sunspots seen in Phuket near the equator, and then seeing what happens to sunspots when the sun is tracked throughout the day in the UK.
Hey, I think this is a great idea. Science is all about making predictions and testing them. So, what predictions will you make about the sunspots that would disagree with the globe predictions? If all your predictions agree with the globe predictions, then wouldn't that imply that the globe is the correct model? Surely you have something in relation to the sun and sunspots where you think the globe model has it wrong. So just tell me one prediction for next month, December, where you think the globe model has something wrong. Just one. To make it easy, if you want, you can just say that the globe model predicts a 24-hour sun in Antarctica next month, and you think that prediction is wrong. But something tells me you won't say this. And something tells me you don't have a single example out of the thousands of predictions that the globe model makes. I don't think you have even one example of something that you think will be an incorrect prediction. But I'll wait to hear from you, though. Maybe I'll be surprised. This next part is fun.
So here's an illustration of how people in different locations could collaborate during this time. I've taken a screenshot from timeanddate.com's night and day map, and it's set for UTC time, Saturday 21st of December 2024, and it's 9 o'clock in the morning now. And you can see that from Perth you could follow this line of sight to the sun here. From Antarctica you could follow this line of sight to the sun here. From the east coast of the US, the sun would be just rising maybe. From the UK there, it's well into the day. So from these different locations, people could make these observations with these lines of sight to the sun.
Okay, here's a great example where the globe model should have a different prediction than the flat Earth. In the globe model, the sun is many, many millions of miles away from the Earth. As such, everyone on Earth sees the same side of the sun. Meaning, no matter where you are on Earth, if you can see the sun, you would see the same sunspots. But on a flat Earth, that would not be the case. Looking at your map here, people in Antarctica, people in the UK, and people in Australia are all looking at different sides of the sun. So would you predict that these people would see different sunspots? If not, why not? You see, that wouldn't make any sense on a flat Earth. On a flat Earth, when one person on the Earth is seeing the sun rise, someone else very, very far away is seeing the sun set. Now, these would be the opposite sides of the sun. So they should never see the same sunspots. So let me know if this is one prediction that you think the globe model has wrong, specifically that people won't see the same sunspots, even though the globe model predicts that everyone will see the same sunspots. Can't wait for your response.